Hi, and welcome to the Retirement Concepts podcast where we discuss both lifestyle and financial issues in retirement to help you understand them.
Thanks for joining us again. I'm Peter Graham and very happy to be here to explain a little more about our little book of retirement concepts. But before we go too far, it's important that you know what we actually do. Now, I know I do, but what do you do?
What do I do? As an authorized financial planner, a lot of people ask that question to me, what do you actually do? And I pretty much help people make smart money decisions with their personal finances. Now, my specialty and my niche of clients that I help the most is pre-retirees and retirees. So as a licensed financial advisor, we're mummified with all this red tape all the time. And what we mean by that is we've got so much documentation that we need to complete for people, and notes and information and all this information that we need to do for clients. So as a licensed financial planner in Australia, it's tough and it's costly to do. But why we do it is to pretty much help you guys to help make good financial decisions for yourself, whether it's now or whether it's into the future. That's pretty much what a financial planner does, is we help you make good decisions. Now, everyone's going to have their own different personal financial circumstances that's going to be unique and individual and unique to everyone individually. So what we do for one person's going to be different to the next person, because from a retirement perspective, for example, a lot of my clients, they actually are travelers and they're traveling around Australia in caravans and all that sort of mischief of a retirement, of their retirement ambitions. So their dream retirement is traveling around, seeing all different parts of Australia. Now, Pete, I know that that's probably not your type of retirement, but
I wouldn't mind doing that.
Wouldn't mind what?
I think that's one of the options, yeah.
One of the options. So there's many different options and many different ways that you could do it. So we just pretty much give you the guidance around, well, what do you currently have in terms of your personal finances? Where is your starting point? All right. And where do you want to get to? And what does that look like? What does life look like when you get to point B, where you want to be in X amount of years? So, or someone's come to us and said, I want to retire in the next 2 or 3 months. Well, there's not much preparation and planning to allow us to make a big impact on your personal finances. Whereas if we have a lot of time on our hands from the financial perspective, and we've got time to put money into super, change investments or update your investments or save money effectively, and give you some little pointers along the way that really make a big impact along your personal financial journey, it can really have a massive impact to your personal finances when you're leading into retirement, and obviously when you get to retirement as well. We sort of view your wealth accumulation years and your retirement years like a mountain. So when you're climbing a mountain, for example, you wanted to climb Mount Everest, and that's going to be your wealth journey. When you're climbing Mount Everest, you're climbing it to be able to create wealth and maximize your wealth at the most optimum point of view. Doing that, you need help, all right? You don't climb, you need help in terms of you need safety equipment, you need all the different tools to go and do it. You obviously need your own self-motivation as well, and your ability to earn income is one of the main things there. So climbing the mountain is really important, getting up to the top of it. Now, once you've hit your peak, you've reached the top and you've seen the view, well, that's when we technically talk about your retirement years. When you've starting your retirement years is the next deep part of deaccumulating your wealth, because in retirement phase, you're going to start drawing an income and spending some of the money that you've actually accumulated over time. Now, you're going to be spending that money for a number of years. And like Pete said, you could be potentially having a 30-year retirement, which is 11,000 days. So you need guidance and assistance of obviously the way down as well. So we always say that with financial planning, you're getting guidance from a professional, and we work with a collective of professionals, which is your accountant. We work with a mortgage broker, and we also work with an estate planner to make sure that we're covering all bases from your personal financial needs. Now, we go into that in great depth, in great detail, and the keys to it all is to give you guidance along the way to help you make the right decisions for your retirement path. Now, as part of this is we always say when climbing Mount Everest, you wouldn't climb Mount Everest without a guide. And it's the same principle applies back to the financial planning side of it. You wouldn't create, it's worthwhile remembering that reaching your optimum level, you can go a lot further with a lot more guidance and professional advice along the way. Now, a lot of people think as well that Google is the answer to all of your questions, which in fact, that is true. It does answer a lot of the questions, but it doesn't answer the know-how and the execution of a plan to put it in place for yourself. So, yeah, the financial planning side of it, Pete, it's capturing your details, capturing your starting point of where you are now, and putting in place goals and objectives to get to a certain point for your retirement. That could be, for example, retiring at the age of 62 and you wanted to live off $75,000 a year for the rest of your life. How does that work out, and how do we map it out? Now, from a financial planning perspective, we use a lot of projection tools and calculations and all that sort of stuff or other. And we can sort of give you a guidance and a sort of an idea on how that will last. So, yeah, the guidance is the advice piece along the way. Maximizing in all the different areas, avenues that we can utilize that for.
I think one of the things that financial planners do is that they give people peace of mind. They understand where they're going, they understand how they're going to get there, and all of the complexities have been simplified. That's what a financial planner does, and they obviously know a lot more than the average person knows about money, but they simplify it and they make it easy for you. So I'd encourage anybody to get involved with a financial planner. I did it for 50 years, thoroughly enjoyed it, and I know my customers enjoyed it as well. And that's what I would encourage everybody to understand, that a financial planner simplifies your life financially and gives you a good understanding plus peace of mind. I think that's basically how it goes.
Yeah, a lot of comments that we get from clients after we've given them advice and we've taken them through the whole journey from the start to when we've implemented their plan and we've executed what we've talked about throughout the course of all of our meetings, is that pretty much they sort of say that it takes their worries away. Their worries are that they had all these worries about the financial aspects of retirement. Can we do this? Can we do that type thing? And it takes their worries away to say that it's actually been looked after and we know where we're going. We know the path that we're going to go and we know the destination of where we're actually going to get to. Whereas most people that don't have a financial planner in their corner helping them out with giving them guidance, is they're sort of thinking, well, where are we going to be? Can we go and do this? Can we afford to do this? Can we afford to do that? And those are the worries that people have in their retirement years. We went to the caravan and camping show recently this year, and one of my question to a lot of people walking past was, what was your biggest fear in retirement? Now, throughout the course of the start of the caravan show, a lot of the people that came at the start were all the people that really organised, that had all their ducks in a row. They knew their finances. A lot of their responses were, I've got no worries. And then I'd dig a little bit deeper into well, why don't you have any worries? And they said, well, we're organized. We've got a plan. We've had a financial planner. We've done this. We've done that. We've done this. And we know what our situation looks like from a financial perspective. So, but then a lot of the people that were coming there that had fear in their eyes, they were the ones that never had seen a financial planner, didn't really have a plan for themselves, hadn't understood their finances and what they're capable of doing. So we take the worries away from our clients because we help them understand what they have and give them confidence of what they can go and achieve. So yeah, there's a lot of factual information with numbers and all that sort of stuff, but at the end of the day, we can only give guidance on what you have currently. And I had a comment last night on one of the social media posts was I posted out for the little book of retirement concepts, and a younger guy jumped on and said, is there any way of bringing this retirement? Is there anything in the retirement book that can bring the retirement forward for yourself? And I was thinking about that last night, and I was like, well, technically, we're not magicians. We can't pull a rabbit out of the hat and just make your life appear to be magical in your retirement years. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of consistency with sticking to a plan is one of the main things that people don't understand, is that the effects of time in the market and a long time of investing funds of compound interest is where you really create a significant amount of wealth. The small little pieces of advice of what a financial planner can do is give you tell you how much money to put into super, what structures that you hold your investing funds in, when to buy certain assets and when not to buy certain assets, and actually talking through the process of educating you on what are the options for you. One of the big things that we see lately with a lot of our clients is they don't have a simple understanding of how a mortgage works and what an offset account does for their principal place of residence. Now, what I mean by that is a lot of people these days will have a mortgage on their home, and a bank account that is attached to that is called an offset account. The amount of money that you have inside your offset account offsets the amount of interest that you pay on your loan. Now, commonly that we come across new clients with is if they've got the home loan and then they've got another separate savings account that's earning them 4% in interest, all right, compared to having the money sitting in an offset account. Now, the real benefit of this offset account, it offsets the amount of interest in your loan. So all the time that you'll find a bank is going to pay themselves more than what they're going to pay yourself in interest. Most commonly at the moment, the interest rates on a home loan are 6%, all right? And if you stick money in an offset account, it's technically saving you 6% return on your money. Whereas if you're investing that cash that you have in just a regular savings account in a high interest savings account, they're going to pay you 4% interest, all right? Now, the big thing that people miss around this whole thing is that when you're earning 4% interest in income, all right, that adds to your taxable income. So technically you're not getting 4%. They're actually taking away your tax, which could be 30% in tax. So the real return is 30% less 4% in interest, or 5% that you're getting in interest. And they're the little simple things that you can really give some good advice on, is simply just set up an offset account, save yourself 6% interest on a principal place of residence. Now, that may seem like a little simple piece of information or a simple piece of advice, but it's so commonly throughout the course of a number of our client relationships at the moment that are new to financial planning, that haven't had much of a finance background, and they've stuck their head in the sand for a number of years about their finances. They're discovering this information and discovering that us as advisors can give you a lot more value rather than just talking about returns of investments and stuff like that.
And I think that's the point of using a financial advisor. You're going to talk to somebody who knows more than you do. And they've got a lot more baseline information that can help you than you could ever research and find on Google or by reading papers or talking to your mates. So, seeking financial advice from a professional like Lionel is absolutely critical. So next time we get together, we're going to look at what I do and give you a good summary as to how we, on redefining retirement side of things, can help you. Thanks very much for coming along.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Please like and subscribe to our Facebook group. Jump onto our Instagram page and add some comments to what you like about the podcast so far. We're bringing you retirement concepts about who we are, what we do, and how our little book of retirement concepts book can really assist you in making you have a fabulous retirement. Bye for now. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Retirement Concepts podcast. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to let people know by sharing the episode around, rating and reviewing the podcast on the platform you listen on. Also, if you need some guidance on preparing for retirement, please head over to our website lbrc.au to grab a copy of our little book of retirement concepts that brings you closer to having a fabulous retirement. Until then, we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.